thinking, this is all right. We're not as shit as we usually are. Then we turn shit. We just cannot keep conceding last-minute goals under this guy. Today, Southampton, Everton, there'll be other games I can't even be arsed thinking, right? Liverpool, the amount of points we've dropped in the 88th minute onwards or something under this guy is just ridiculous. But at least we were competitive. No, we're not. If we were competitive, we'd be seeing these fucking games out. This ain't competitive. It's piss easy to score against us. Just like at Anfield, we got an equaliser against Liverpool, and Liverpool went, ugh, guess we better go get a winner. Bang, they went and got one. It was like that today. It's like, 5 minutes ago. Guess we better try and get that winner. Bang, bang, 2 goals. It's fucking shit, honestly. Just when I think I'm not interested, I don't care anymore, it just drags me back in. And like I said, the worst thing is in the second half when we went 2-1 up, Soucek scored. Thought this is fun. Fun's back. Nah, you're not allowed that. Taken away. Competitive. My arse. Who in their right mind decides to bring Soufal on against Minta, however you pronounce it, Minty, whatever you want to call him? Who brings on the slowest fullback against one of the quickest wingers in the Premier? Well, this guy does. Graham Potter. He decides to do it. I'm say fed up. I'm not fed up because I'm angry. I'm annoyed. If I was fed up, I wouldn't feel like this. I'm just fed up with the same thing happening every single game. That's what I'm fed up with. Anyway, welcome to Talk a Good Game, where we discuss the match highlights. Quite a lot to get through. 5 goals. If you're new around here, please do subscribe. And also do drop a like on the video as well by clicking the thumbs up button. They made it 1-0 after 13 minutes. Ayari. We had a warning before that. And Stupinian had a shot from long range just before it went over the bar. So Brighton said, we're going to shoot from distance. Ayari gets the ball. Paqueta's too slow at getting out. To be fair, he sort of gets sucked in. Ward-Prowse, they all do. All the midfielders get sucked in too far. Ward-Prowse goes over to help out Wan-Bissaka for some unknown reason. So that means our midfield's all out of sync. So by the time it comes to Ayari, he's got loads of space, picks his spot. It's an outstanding finish. Nothing Areola can do about it, but there's a lot that the other 10 could do about it, which is don't let somebody shoot with that much time on their hands. You can't stop players shooting from distance, but what you can do is make it difficult to shoot from distance. We didn't. He shot, he scored. 1-0 Brighton. I'm going to skip to half-time. I don't think we played the worst in the first half, but we were playing a really low on confidence Brighton side today. This is the thing here. Brighton, well, Fulham have just gone and got a last-minute winner as well, and Bournemouth don't play till tomorrow. So Brighton have made like a giant step towards Conference League football next season. It's a good result for them. But Brighton were not fantastic today. That was a poor performance from Brighton, and they still won. In the first half, I thought it was quite scrappy. We were getting the ball out wide. The crosses were pretty rubbish, and when the crosses were going, and we only had Soucek in there. Fantastic save by Verbruggen to stop Soucek's header. I thought we were doing okay, but just felt like all 3 centre-backs was a bit unnecessary. We were missing the striker. We were missing Fulkrug in that first half because on 2 occasions, and here's the big difference between Kudus' goal and the opportunities we had in the first half. There was one that got cut back to Wan-Bissaka, cut it back to Thomas Soucek, hit the side netting. Jared Bowen got the ball, should have played it back to Kudus, but it was a difficult pass to make. Ends up taking a shot on, well blocked, out for, should have been a corner, but a goal kick was given. But those 2 opportunities, the lack of movement in the box was bad. Soucek made a run of a sort of a central midfielder because the ball got cut back to him. He was never going to score from that angle. It was just a bad run from him. Fulkrug comes on at half-time, makes the run in the second half, takes the centre-backs out of the way so that Bowen can then cut it back to Kudus. It's a terrible effort. It somehow bumbles over the line. I'm not sure how the keeper didn't save it. Not sure how Weaver at the back post didn't stop it, but we'll take it. And from then on, I thought Kudus looked a bit better. I thought he got a bit of a confidence boost off that goal. He started to cause a little bit of problems. Made it 2-1. Fantastic goal by Thomas Soucek. Great cross from Jared Bowen, one of the better crosses of the day. We had plenty of them. We were just not very good at them. Superb in swinging ball from Jared Bowen. Great header by Thomas Soucek. 2-1 up. And Brighton had their moments. Areola made some good saves in that game. But I'd be lying if I said that I was terrified of Brighton or anything. I was more terrified of us. And unfortunately, that proved to be the case. But for large periods in the second half, I was enjoying what I was seeing. It was a fun game of football between two teams not very good, but that's what made it fun. They got the equaliser with Mitoma, and Max Kilman decides he can't be arse defending or whatever. He loses Mitoma. Possibly he's the first header he's ever scored in his career. I don't know, but he's certainly not someone that's known for his dominance in the air. But good ball to the back post, good header across by Gomez, possibly. I can't remember who it was that headed it across. I think it was him. Gouda maybe, I think, headed it back in. Mitoma, but who peeled off Kilman, who was just standing fucking still, not doing anything, into the back of the net, 2-2. Just pathetic defending from us. And then if that wasn't bad, we decided to give Baleba all the time in the world to take a shot with his left foot. And this is just an outrageous strike. Don't get me wrong. This effort is stunning. But even between Ayari's goal and Baleba's goal, there was other shots that Brighton had from outside the box. Estupinian again, this time it was straight at Areola. They were hitting it from distance today. Our team, do they catch on to that and decide, nah, fuck it, we'll just let them shoot. Nah, shoot from distance. You're not going to do anything, are you? Well, yeah, they've already told you they're going to do something. 3-2 Brighton, fantastic result for them. They might go on and get 8th place, and that might give them Conference League football. You can see how much it meant with that celebrations at the end. But it's just pathetic from us. The whole game, there was just, I don't think it was the right starting 11. I think the substitutions were bad. Man alive. Honestly, I've tried to avoid his press conferences for recent weeks because they just irritate me, really. And I tuned into this one because of the Fulkrug thing, and I was disappointed to see him play it down. Now, you could argue that it's good leadership and good management by Graham Potter in the sense that he dropped Fulkrug because he felt that that was the right thing to do. He didn't go with perhaps the majority opinion from the fans, and he didn't sort of take crap from Fulkrug. But it was the wrong thing to do not to play him today. And in the first half, we were seriously lacking a striker. In the second half, I don't think we took enough advantage of Fulkrug being on the pitch. But I thought Bowen and Kudus were much better in the second half than the first half, and they really benefited from it. I think Potter got the lineup wrong. The substitutions weren't great either. It's another poor performance overall, and it's another poor result. And like I said, the frustrating thing is, and the worrying thing is, it's another goal we've conceded late on. It's Groundhog Day. We've seen this story again and again and again. We would have lost last week. It's just that Southampton are a bit more shit than what Brighton currently are. In terms of individual performances, I'll go into more detail on Patreon with Gonzo. But I thought Wan-Bissaka looked lively down the right-hand side. Unfortunately, just can't cross the ball very well. If he could, we'd have had a lot more chances. The centre-backs, I don't think just 3 centre-backs, 2 full-backs. Ward-Prowse arguably playing as a bit of a defence midfielder. Then Thomas Soucek drops in there and does that role. But it's piss easy to take shots at our keeper. Our keeper's busy despite all that protection in front of him. We are not good at sitting deep under Graham Potter. He keeps talking about how he's sorted the defence out and whatever, only because we sit so far back and don't really offer much of a threat. Well, we've just conceded 3 today, 2 of them because of how deep we've been sitting back and allowing them to shoot from outside the box. I think Paqueta had a decent enough game, not as good as he had been previously, but I think some of his touches and passes were good. 2 good assists from Jared Bowen. That's about it, really. I don't think anyone else had a particularly good game. No one was stinking bad. Ward-Prowse wasn't missed when he went off the pitch. I'll say that. He was all right. He was moving the ball around. Mavropanos, I thought, was one of our best passers today, which is not something I'd ever thought I'd say, but I like some of his passes from centre back into, in particular, Jared Bowen. He was trying to play it through the lines and get us up the pitch. I think Todibo was a little bit worrying at some points. But just, I tell you what, if I'm the West Ham media manager right now, I'm making sure Fulkrug's nowhere near a bloody microphone because I'd pay to hear what he thought about that. It's just not good enough today from West Ham. And I know it's all about next season and stuff like that, but we've got to be doing something now to give us encouragement and give us hope going into next season. There's just absolutely little to none of it right now. At least if he was doing the right things as a manager, you could say, "All right, he's doing the right things. It's just the players aren't really." Well, it's his decisions. It's his starting 11 that's wrong. It's his substitutions that are wrong. That's still going to be the case going forward. Not good enough. Not good enough. Well, the good thing is I got to enjoy maybe half an hour of that game, which makes a difference from the Southampton one. But overall, just a last minute goal, and well done, Brighton. Good win for them. Anyway, I'm gonna disappear. I'm gonna keep this short and sweet because I can't really be arsed. I'm grumpy, and I don't like being grumpy. But that's the way I feel at the minute. Not good enough from Potter, not good enough from a lot of the players, and not good enough from West Ham. We go on to next week. Who do we play next week? Spurs, I think. I think we play Spurs next week. That's an important game for the fans. That is an important game. And the one thing I will say, I'll leave it on this actually. I'll have a more in-depth discussion tomorrow when we do the debrief. 9 a.m. tomorrow, if anyone's around. The one thing I will say about Potter, my rule of thumb for a manager is when you lose the away fans, you're in trouble. I think that's the test, really. Once they give up on you, I think your days are numbered to some extent. And today, with those fans singing constantly about Fulkrug throughout 90 minutes, that is not a good sign for Graham Potter. They're singing about getting him on the pitch. They're singing about Fulkrug being right and that was shit. That is not a good sign for Potter. I'd be worried about that. Now, historically, he's called out the fan bases, and it's not to say that you won't do it to West Ham fans, but I would advise not doing it at the moment. And I know, fine, what you're saying in his press conference, we were competitive. We're not competitive. We aren't. Scored a scrappy equaliser, and then a really good second goal with Thomas Soucek. But that was coming. That Brighton equaliser was coming. Areola made 3 or 4 good saves today, but there's just nothing you could do about Ayari or Baleba. Why? Because the way we set up allowed them to shoot from distance, and they took advantage of it. That's got them the 3 points. That's what's lost us. Well, the race of 2 points, all 3. We were leading going into the closing stages. And if you were competitive, you'd see those games out. There's no evidence of that. And he keeps on harping about how he's cleaned up the defence and how we've got better. Well, I might go and have a look, actually. I'm not grumpy about this. I'd like to see the difference between points drop between Lopetegui and Graham Potter in the last 5-10 minutes of games. Because I'll tell you what, I bet you Lopetegui's better at it. Not good enough. I'm off. I'll catch you in a bit.